Hello and Merry Christmas, everyone. My name is Robert Larson. I'm the owner of the Larson Law Office in Mesa, Arizona. Today is December 24th, so it's the day of Christmas Eve. And that has me thinking about parenting plans and the schedules that parents have with their children for holidays, and especially for Christmas. So if you have a parenting plan, then it usually includes a few different things. First is a regular schedule that you share your children with the other parent. And then it also includes a set of holidays and school breaks, vacations, and so it specifies who's going to have the children during all those times. So there should be, at any point in the year, you should be able to know who has the children. And so holidays always trump the regular schedule. And Christmas, of course, is one of the major holidays of the year. And for a lot of people, it's the biggest holiday. And so there's a lot of interest in who's going to have the children at Christmas time. So typically what you see when it comes to Christmas is one of two options. Option A would be where each parent has the children every year for part of the holiday, and so there's basically an exchange somewhere in the middle of that. And option B would be where you alternate. So parent A gets the children one year, parent B gets the children the next year, and you basically go back and forth for that. So in my experience, option A is the more common situation where basically both parents have time with the children every year and they exchange at some point. So typically what you'll see is one parent will have the children Christmas Eve, the other parent has the children Christmas Day, and then the next year they alternate it. So every year you switch back and forth having Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And you can have a lot of different variations with that. So very common, something I see a lot is the exchange will take place at around 10 a.m. on Christmas morning, or maybe 12 o'clock noon. And some people will even do it at night on Christmas Eve. So it just depends on what works for the families best. But that's probably the most common sharing arrangement that I see for children when it comes to Christmas. And the times may vary, but that's the most common situation that I see. Sometimes people do have just alternating holidays. So sometimes, one parent will get the kids in even years and the other parent will get the kids in odd years, and they do that. Sometimes you see that a lot when the parents don't live close to each other, and so exchanging in the middle is just not feasible. So sometimes people might live, let's say, Phoenix and Tucson, and so they'll just alternate instead of trying to exchange in the middle. And sometimes people live in different states. So in that situation, a lot of times one parent gets the first week of the winter break from school, and then the other parent gets the second week, and then they alternate it as well. So another thing that we see is it's kind of a variation on the first option that I mentioned, where each parent gets the kids part of the year. But in this situation, you don't alternate because some families prefer to have the children on Christmas Eve every year, and some parents would prefer to have the children on Christmas Day every year. So sometimes you get that situation where one parent really cares more about Christmas Eve, the other parent cares more about Christmas Day. So they'll just make an agreement that the parent who cares about Christmas Eve gets the kids every year for Christmas Eve, and then the other parent gets them every year at Christmas Day. So that works really well when that's what people care more about. However, if both parents care equally about whether they get Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, that may not work so well. But anyway, there's a lot of different options, and if you can come to an agreement, you can work it out in a way that fits your family's schedule and interests as much as you like. If you leave it up to a judge, so if you have a trial and a judge ends up making the decisions for you, typically a judge is just going to have a standard set of holidays, and the exchange times are going to be whatever that judge includes in their standard list of holidays. So by having a trial and having a judge decide things, you kind of lose your ability to make those decisions. However, there's an asterisk next to that, and that is whatever parenting plan you have, and whether we're talking about the regular schedule or holiday schedule or school breaks or vacations or phone contact or anything else, every parenting plan always includes the ability for the two parents to take control of their lives and their families and make decisions that are different from what's in the parenting plan. So your parenting plan is a court order, and it provides the baseline for what your schedule is going to be if the two of you cannot come to any other agreement. However, the two parents are always free to make other arrangements as they see fit. So just because you have a court order that says that, mother's going to have the children on Christmas Eve, father's going to have the children Christmas Day, and the exchange is going to take place at 10 a.m. The parents are free to change that if they want. So they can switch it, they can reverse it, or they can change the exchange time, or they can do different things if they want. But if you do something different, it needs to be in writing. It doesn't need to be a full-on contract and signed and notarized and that kind of thing. There needs to be an email or at least a text message, something in writing where the two parents are saying, hey, we're going to change and do something different than what our court order says. We're going to vary from the parenting plan a little bit or a lot, whatever it is, and you can always have that freedom to do that even when you do have court orders. So anyway, anytime you have a parenting plan, you want to make sure those holidays are specified, and especially Christmas, because it's a big holiday and you don't want to miss out on that because it's not included in your parenting plan. So anyway, Merry Christmas to everyone and Happy New Year.